Good evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome to Livetalk, The Connection, a platform where we discuss issues affecting young people. We are coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington. This Tuesday, July the 4th, 2023. And it's Independence Day here in America. Happy Independence Day, everybody. I am Tungamili Nkomo. Tonight, we are talking about Zimbabwe crashing out of this year's Cricket World Cup tournament after losing to Scotland by 31 runs in a qualifier match played at Queen Sports Club in Bulawayo this afternoon. Lichona njani Zimbabwe omuhle, namhla kuhlelo Livetalk, The Connection. Sixoxa ngeqembu elimela iZimbabwe emdlalweni we-cricket. Lona elikhitshwe yiScotland namuhla kumidlalo yokudinga amaqembu aza kuyaphatheka kumncintiswano we-2023 Cricket World Cup ozadlalelwa kwele India. iZimbabwe inqotshwe ngama-runs angu-31. Ndinokugamuchirai vadiwa vatereri pachirongwache Livetalk, The Connection. Nasi tiri kutarisa nyaya yechikwata chinomirira Zimbabwe mumutambo wecricket icho chaburitswa mumakwikwi ekupinda mumitambo ye-2023 Cricket World Cup mushure mekukundwa neScotland ne-31 runs. First though, an update on the upcoming general elections. Activist groups in Zimbabwe have launched a series of nationwide Vote in Peace concerts to promote unity and discourage violence as the country prepares for August 23 elections. Government critics point out much of the past election-related violence came from the state against the opposition and their supporters. VOA's Columbus Mavunga reports from Harare, Zimbabwe.
Farai Chinomona is one of the thousands who attended the first Vote in Peace concert organized by the Zimbabwe Election Support Network, a coalition of activists that promote democracy and fair voting. It was held on July 1 in Hopley, a Harare suburb once tainted by past election violence. Chinomona holds back tears as he recalls how he lost two relatives to election-related violence in 2008.
I still feel the pain. I wish at that time people had been educated that violence is bad. But we need to move forward as Zimbabweans and live a harmonious life.
The network of activists say they will hold a series of 150 peace concerts across Zimbabwe ahead of August 23 elections.
When we participate in elections, it should be something that should be taken seriously, such that everyone is just free to go and express their will and exercise their right to vote. And so they should be in a position to do it freely without fear of any harassment and intimidation.
Zimbabwe's previous elections were marred by targeted beatings and killings, especially the highly disputed 2008 election, which saw then-President Robert Mugabe re-elected.
Advocacies and programs that promote peace can only work in those kind of places only if ZANU-PF disuses itself or dissuades itself from using violence as a political strategy. Therefore, my humble submission really is that anti or peace campaigns and advocacies only work in rural areas, because this is where cases of institutionalized violences generally occur.
ZANU-PF denies using violence against opponents, and President Emerson Mnangagwa has also been calling for peaceful campaigning.
We are one of the most peaceful countries on the continent. We are a peaceful country.
Zimbabweans are telling the Vote in Peace concert can only hope that the president's words will this time ring true. Columbus Mavungam for VOA News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
In other news, a high court in Zimbabwe today acquitted Citizens Coalition for Change legislator for Harare West, Joanna Mamombe, and her colleague, Cecilia Revaichimbiri, on charges of disseminating falsehoods in 2020. The CCC activists were abducted and tortured in 2020, with the state accusing them of faking both their abduction and torture.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
For those that have just joined our show, please note we are streaming this discussion live on our Facebook pages, VOA Shona, VOA Studio 7, and VOA Ndebele. We are also live on YouTube at VOA Zimbabwe. You can also find us on our website, voandebele.com, voashona.com, as well as voazimbabwe.com. Now back to the chevrons. Zimbabwe's national cricket team, which failed to qualify for the 2023 ICC Cricket World Cup tournament to be hosted by India from October 5 through November 19 this year, has left many fans in tears. Zimbabwe had started on a promising note as they chased a 235-run target, but their top-order batsmen crumbled in quick succession, effectively handing the match over to Scotland and ensuring a repeat of the 2018 scenario when the Chevrons fell at the last hurdle, having had to win one of their last two qualifiers. In short, the ghost of 2018 came back to haunt Zimbabwe today, as they were bowled out for 203 runs in 41.1 overs and losing by 31 runs. To discuss Zimbabwe's loss, we are joined tonight by sports journalists and cricket lovers Thandazani Zimbabwe and Simbarashe Nembaware. We have Simba on the line while we connect with Thandazani. Simba, good evening and welcome to Live Talk. Hello, Simba, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Kinamiri.
Yes, thank you so very much for joining us. I know you were at Queen's Sports Club today, this afternoon, when it appeared initially that Zimbabwe had a shot at qualifying for the World Cup. But it wasn't to be at the end of the day. Tell us, you were in this stadium, in the ballpark. How did you feel seeing Zimbabwe going down that way?
It was very disappointing. We actually hurt a lot. We got to a stage when we were believing that, okay, finally we are qualifying, and then suddenly the wheels just came off. And we thought the target was easy. We could chase it, but when our team came to bat, things didn't go our way. And there was a feeling of sadness engulfing the whole stadium, saying, here we go again. We've been here, and it's happening right now in my eyes, and things like the guys don't know what to do. And though the crowd tried to rally the boys, it was just not good.
But where exactly did Zimbabwe go wrong, Simba? Because they appeared to have restricted Scotland very well, only to disappoint.
Yeah, I really can't say where exactly. I'm not a cricket friend, but you get the feeling that maybe they got overwhelmed and they became too confident that, okay, we have restricted them to a favorable target, and then we can check this. But instead doing, they exposed themselves. They were making rash decisions, and even after the same, they don't hit the ball. Then, like you feel that the supporters know what to do, but the players themselves are just out of the depth.
Yes, udaba lwama supporters khonapho Simba sibazwile abanengi beloba lasenkundleni zokuxhumana lapha, abanengi bebesola abakhetha ama-players esingathi ngama-selectors ngolimi lwe-cricket. Bathi yibo abaphambanise kakhulu, yibo abachiya abadlali abalohlonzi. Yinto izwileyo lawe kubasekeli be-cricket, njalo yinto ngabe uyibonile yini la wena le?
Manje usizi ukuthi sabe singakwazi ukuthi bona ama-selectors aboneni. So but ngikubona kwabantu-ke njengabasekeli beqembu, kule ukhalakhala ukuthi hayi kanti laba abadlali bakhethwe njani, ngoba kulezi bantu abadlala ngcono. So-ke besoletha imbuzo eminingi. Ukuthi hayi badlile, kodwa-ke asibasola abafana bona bazamile ngade bekwenza isola ama-selectors nama-coaches abo.
Saka ire mangwana re cricket re xikwata che cricket muri kuona rakamira sei vanembawari nekuti zvaitika nhasi takaona zvichiitika futi muna 2018 when Zimbabwe failed to qualify. Nhasi zvazvoitika zvakare, asi nyika yanga yakatarisira kuti haiwa gore rino tiri kuenda kuIndia kuWorld Cup uko.
Mkoma, I think Zimbabwe is about to totombomira totaka pacho, like rebuilding. Totai wakomana mazama pamunogona napo, even kulook admin kwacho, totaka kwa admin shiplet na players, toti rebuild. Tauga draw cup chatera, teratima chipumba esmesh, team renda World Cup. Team ratamba masi tournament to dismantle and rebuild. I think you're the only way that I think some cricket league.
Thank you there, Simba, and please do stay on the line. I guess pale ama comments timbo verenga zviri kunyorwa nevatereri pa madandemutande edu Facebook ndikuona pa VOA Ndebele kulo mlandeli lapha uGugu Mazila Ncube uthi yena kodwa badlalile bona, they tried their best. Umelusi Magonya Ncube like uthi, I think overall this was good to the people of Zimbabwe. Seeing people coming in numbers to the stadium showed a bit of success despite the loss. I believe the cricket national team has gained the country support and trust. Let's prepare for the next 4 years to come. Umlaleli lapho uMelusi Magonya Ncube. Now let's go to our second guest. That's Thandazani Zimga. He's a sports journalist and a cricket lover. Thandazani, good evening and welcome to Live Talk.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. What went wrong, Thandazani?
What went wrong did not go wrong today, but went wrong a long time ago. And I think it is our preparations running up to the qualifiers and subsequently the Super Six which left us in this predicament that we face. Remember, we touched the issue of that Zimbabwe knew well in advance that they were in A2 group. So eventually at some stage they were going to come and play in Bulawayo. What preparations did they make, despite that they were in Zimbabwe? What preparations did they make to familiarize themselves with the Queen's ground? They had 6 ODIs against Pakistan, some of which could have been used to familiarize with Queens, but they played all that in Harare. Perhaps that should answer why they did so well in Harare, because it's familiar territory. But against Scotland, who had been playing qualifiers in Bulawayo, it became more familiar for them, despite that they were away when they played the Super Six, because they had been playing all their qualifiers in Bulawayo. The moment they played against Zimbabwe, they were comfortable, and so perhaps this is why we find ourselves in this predicament.
But maybe perhaps we have to be realistic here and say Zimbabwe were playing against Scotland, and Scotland are the team that eliminated West Indies. West Indies were eliminated for the first time in history, in their cricketing history. And clearly Zimbabwe were punching above their weight. Somebody might argue they were playing a superior team and there is no way they could have prevailed.
There are two ways of looking at it. At some stage, it's a game of permutations, but at some stage, instinct and the spirit and the fact that they are playing at home can drive you to better results. What do I mean? When you look at the way Zimbabwe played against Sri Lanka, that game, the performance against Sri Lanka could have contributed to our loss today. Why do I say that? If, despite that you may lose, if you account for yourself very well, there is that momentum to the next game, and if you carry it to your next game, you can do better. But I think we got it wrong against Sri Lanka. We were so dampened because of performance and result, such that it spilled over to our match against Scotland, and subsequently here we are. When you look at that, we beat a country like West Indies, for example, the example you put forward. If you can beat West Indies, surely you would be expected to account yourself better because you are playing at home, because of previous results, and everyone was expecting us to do much, much better against Scotland, yet it was not to be.
Siyabonga, Thandazani, please do stay on the line. Thandazani there and Simba Russian Mbawari. Siye kwele South Africa sithathe umlaleli Timboto Ramterere ku South Africa. Umlaleli unjani?
Ngiyaphila njani baba?
Hayi siyaphila, sikhuluma ngecricket, isiphumile iZimbabwe kumncintiswano weWorld Cup lapha. Phose lakho?
umdlalo wona ubumuhle kakhulu ngoba abafana they were chasing iscore ka 2035 which was not bad kakhulu kodwa ke umdlalo sulahle ekuqaleni nje mangabe siluza ama wickets amabili ku Craig Evan lo Joel Gumbi lokho kusilima kakhulu noma sisiya phambili sidlalile sizama kodwa kwahlula ikakhulu umuntu ongathi futhi uphinda wasipela nguSikandaraza ozama ukuthi njengomdlalo sobantu ubovu kakhulu ubekumele umdlalo awuncenge ngoma overs besasivumela kakhulu wembele umdlalo awuncenge kodwa ke ngokushaya liyana yethu uzama ukushaya i6 obethe izama ihlulile saqhubeka kakhulu ngalomdlali uBell obambisene noMandebere kodwa khona abafana bazamile khona kwasho ukuthi kunzima noma ngabe kusekhona esingathi kukhona okuncane kodwa angiboni ngeke kusakwenzeka sesiphumile kuyafana nasokuqaleni futhi nakwabanjalo futhi
hayi siyabonga mlaleli ngokungena kuhlelo ungadinwa la kusasa
siyabonga baba
ayakhuluma lapho umlaleli ukhanya beyilandela impela icricket ngesishona bathi zwaramba nganga murabka achida sikhangele lapha ukuthi ucaptain weZimbabwe utheni after umdlalo wanamhla uCraig Evan uthena is a very difficult pill to swallow. I thought we did well to restrict them to 230. Unfortunately, that first initial spell from Sole really put us on the back foot and just made it hard for us to recover from that position. Then captain we Scotland lapa Richie Barrington, captain we Scotland Richie Barrington here ati after the match ati our boys have been fantastic. Credit to the way the lads played today. The way we came out and showed faith in the second innings and got those early wickets was really fantastic. Really proud of the boys. Simba uyabezwa abaholi bamaqembu amabili uCraig Evan lapha expressing disappointment uRichie Barrington la uthi hayi abafana badlale kuhle uthi they were fantastic. Ungathini ngamazwi ababili labo in comparison? Yeah, Simba. Ngiyabuya kuwe la weZimbabwe khonapho Simba. That's for you.
All right. Ngiyazimela nabo bazile captain nabo. iScotland idlale kuhle sebilayi. Okuhle kuyabuka idlale kuhle. iZimbabwe izamile but ngokuqalisa kwabo abashe baqala ngenyawo kakhulu ukuthi hayi izinto kuthesa le 230 kade sithi incane kuhle kwabanzi. But niye point ekhulunywe ngofort lapho Thandazana ukuthi i-preparation yethu eyenzaziyo iZimbabwe always plays well eHarare. I-wicket le Bulawayo abalejayelanga. So mase libuya ngapha koBulawayo iScotland lidlalela so ukuthi i-wicket le lidlala njani the game plan benye. So thina ngani yithi esivakashileyo yithi esihome eZimbabwe. iScotland vele relaxile they knew what they were doing. Ungabona ngendlela kade sebe-attack ngayo iZimbabwe sebezokubhola nabantu kade bele game plan and they knew ukuthi i-wicket leli lidlalisa njani. So ngiyavumela ucaptain weScotland badlale kuhle sibili they knew what they were doing with the plan in it worked.
Ndidzoke kwauri Thandazani. Scotland will now play Netherlands. Muri kuona zvichitamba sei timu mbiri idzi uyezve ndeipi ichabudirira ipapo?
apa zvazvekushopera nokuti nezviro ndakaedza dzikandirasa asi hai tongoedza zvakadaro. Handiti munonzwa kuti anotungamira vatambi veScotland Richie Barrington sezvamataura atenda zvikuru vatsigiri vauya kuzotevera mutambo nhasi, asi ine maonero angu ari kugadzirira pavachatamba neNetherlands. Anoziva kuti akawana vatsigiri vakawanda nekuvatenda kwaaita nhasi ndofunga zvichavabatsira pamutambo wavo neNetherlands. Asi nemaonero angu ndotenda Scotland tikaona matambiro avanga vachiita nyanga kumaqualifiers nyangwe matambiro avakaita nhasi. Zimbabwe yanga yakatarisirwa kuti ndiyo ichakunda Scotland, asi mabatiro avaita mutambo weScotland ndofunga vachakunda chikwata cheNetherlands. Nokuona kwangu ndo vachazotora chimwe chinzvimbo chechipiri vachisangana neSri Lanka kuenda kuWorld Cup ichatambirwa kuIndia.
Ipo vona inqoba khonapo Simba iScotland leNetherlands, ipo voni siyaphambi.
Ngomdlalo wanamuhla ngani iScotland.
Indidzoke kwauri Tandazani. Dai vakuru vecricket vakauya kwauri vachita vazimbwa tapinda parumana nzombe hongo tabuda mumakwikwi eWorld Cup, saka tokumbirawo yambiro yenyu kuti in the next 4 years tichigadzira World Cup iri kuuya toita sei, mungavayambira muchiti chii, vaite sei?
Mukanyatsotarisa vatambi vanga vakamirira chikwata chenyika woongorora kuti vanobva kopi, hazinyatsoratidza mamiriro evanhu vanotamba mutambo wecricket munyika. Ini ndotenda kuti mafranchise ngaanyatsotora vanhu vanogara munharaunda yairi franchise iyoyo, kuitira kuti kana kune vatambi vemubhuruwayo vanogona vaindewo vanomirira nyika. Kana kune vatambi kwaMutare, kumasvingo, muHarare, chero vachigona kutamba kusatariswa kuti anobva kopi, asi vaite zvekutora vatambi nokuti vanogona. Pane imwe nzira yavanga vakushandisa kuti nokuti vari kuda kuti zvinzi vatambi vakamirira nyika yose, vatambi vakaonekwa vatongoti vachibva kuHarare voona kuti tasarudza vekuHarare vakawanda, vamwe vonzi ngavaende vanotamba vari kukwekwe, vamwe ngavaende vanotamba vari kumasvingo, vozosarudzwa vakuinda kunomirira nyika sekunge ndeve kukwekwe, ndeve kumasvingo, ndeve kubhuruwayo. Asi chokwadi ndechekuti vatambi vacho vanenge vachibva kuHarare. Saka izvozvo zvinokuvadza mutambo wedu. Nhasi tiri kuchema tese, tadii kunyatsogadzirisa nyaya dzakadaro kuitira kuti mutambi nyangwe achibva kucholocho, nyangwe achibva kuchirumhanzu, kana achigona agone kumirira nyika nokuti ndizvo zvichatiindisa mberi.
Well said there Tandazani. Simba pose lokucina ungabaxwayisa uthini abakhokheli becricket beZimbabwe cricket wiwa phambili ngamafitshane?
Engakuthi ukuthi ngifuna ukulungiselela okuhlelekileyo kube le program siqalise namhlanje siya phambili sifuna ukwachiva lokho ngoba i-4 years isikhathi esincane kakhulu ukuthi uzosebenzela iWorld Cup ngomnyaka wesi-4 awuqale manje.
Aiwa, tinotenda zvikuru Simba Rashe Nemba Ware and Tandazani Zimga. These are my friends and they are sports journalists. Vatori venau vanonyora nezvemitambo uyezve they are cricket lovers and thank you so very much gentlemen, and that brings us to the end of our show. Would like to thank our guests again and of course you the viewers and listeners at home. Be sure to tune again tomorrow, and remember we have our regular shows at 7 o'clock in the evening and 6:30 in the morning. I am Tunga Milinkomo. Good night, Zimbabwe.